What if I told you that the origins of VTubing go back to the 17th century? From puppetry to otakus, the roots of VTubing are deeply intertwined with Japanese culture. Let's start with ningyō jōruri, a form of puppet theater from 17th century Japan. Imagine a 3-foot-tall puppet being controlled by 3 people on stage. These puppets weren't just toys. They had personalities, moved, spoke, and even expressed emotions. Pretty similar to how VTubers today bring animated characters to life. But what's even more fascinating is what happened behind the scenes. Male performers played female characters in an exaggerated way, something that has stuck around in how avatars are designed. Then there's Kabuki theater, which took things a step further with its famous onnagata, male actors who specialized in playing women. But here's the thing, they weren't just trying to act like women, they were creating this hyper-feminine, almost otherworldly version of femininity. If you think about how many VTuber avatars look today, with their wide eyes, high-pitched voices, and over-the-top outfits, you can see that same hyper-stylized concept of gender at play. Now, fast forward a few centuries. You've probably heard of the idol economy, but what you may not know is how it exploded in Japan during the economic crisis of the 1980s and 90s. During a time when many people felt stuck and unable to move up in life, idols offered a kind of emotional support. They weren't just performers. They were like heroes for everyday people. Fans saw idols as relatable, especially because they weren't elites. They had to work their way up just like everyone else.
What is an idol? She's a star. Someone everyone loves. Someone who makes people dream.
This emotional connection between fans and idols is something VTubers have taken to a whole new level. But before we get to that, there's another key cultural group we need to talk about: the otaku. Otaku culture originally had a pretty negative rep, kind of like being called a nerd today. Otakus were obsessed with anime, manga, and all things geeky, to the point where they were seen as socially awkward or introverted. But here's the kicker. What started as a niche subculture has now turned into a global phenomenon, and otakus are proud of it. They don't just consume content, they actively remix it, creating fan art, stories, and even entire new characters. This is where things start getting interesting for VTubing. You see, Otaku culture set the stage for the way fans engage with VTubers today, by participating, remixing, and adding their own spin on things. But how does this level of fan interaction play into the VTuber craze? Let's talk about the shift from real idols to virtual idols. You might know Hatsune Miku, but did you know she wasn't the first virtual idol? That title goes to Date Kyoko, created in 1996. But here's the catch. Even though she had a good start, people lost interest pretty fast because there was no way to see her on stage or interact with her. Fast forward to 2007, and along comes Hatsune Miku, who blew up thanks to her fan community remixing and sharing her music online. Miku became a worldwide star, performing on stage with the help of hologram technology. But there was still something missing. Real-time interaction. That's where VTubing took over. And speaking of that, have you ever wondered why Kizuna AI, the first VTuber, is considered such a game changer? Let's break it down. Kizuna AI, who launched in 2016, took everything to the next level. Not only did she have a cool avatar, but she could interact with fans in real time thanks to motion capture technology. This allowed fans to have live conversations with a virtual character, blurring the line between fiction and reality. For the first time, you could engage with a fictional character as if they were real. But how did VTubing go from a niche Japanese phenomenon to a global trend? It's not just about cool tech or flashy avatars. The global appeal of Japanese pop culture and its aesthetic, think anime, manga, and video games, helped spread VTubing worldwide. But there's one more crucial ingredient: participation. Fans didn't just watch, they got involved. They created fan art, remixes, and even helped translate content, making VTubing accessible to non-Japanese speakers. In the end, VTubing isn't just a trend. It's a unique blend of centuries-old Japanese theater, the emotional pull of the idol economy, and the active participation of otaku culture. VTubers like Kizuna AI aren't just avatars on a screen. They're part of a long-standing tradition that merges reality with fiction, allowing fans to connect in ways that were unimaginable just a few decades ago. And if you want to know what makes VTubers so addictive, check out this video on our channel.